Today we're going to discuss another topic under Management Advisory Services or MAS, and that would be Differential Cost Analysis. Sa Differential Cost Analysis, puro decision na naman ang pag-uusapan natin dito. And that topic would involve or would include only yung mga most common na mga short-term decisions na kinakaharap ng mga companies at lumalabas sa ating sipale or exam. Now, speaking of decisions, when the management come up with their decision, they consider both the quantitative and qualitative information. Quanti and quali po ang tinitingnan nila pag nagde-decide. Hindi pwede na puro numbers or quantitative information lang. Why? Kasi pag puro quanti lang, possible maligaw yung decision ng isang kumpanya. For example, 2019 at pabalik pa, ang ganda ng performance ng isang company. Pero, pag inisip mo or pag consider mo yung mga figures lang ngayon without considering the qualitative information or what is happening right now, pwede mong ma-project na pataas pa rin tayo 2021 onwards. But ignoring the qualitative information might lead you to a wrong decision. Kaya naman dapat mix talaga yung quanti and quali. Ngayon, ano ba yung role natin mga management accountants sa mga desisyon na ginagawa ng management? Our role is to provide quantitative information para makapag-come up sila ng kanilang decision. So we really assist the managers to come up with decision using the relevant information that we provide. Pag sinabi natin relevant information, for the information or cost to be relevant, it has to be different. Ibig sabihin, since ang decision, ang definition niyan is choosing between or among alternative courses of action, we have to choose sa mga options na yan. Pag namimili tayo sa dalawang options na yan, magkamukha ang lahat sa dalawang options na yan, ang hirap mamili. Pero pag na-identify natin ano kaya yung magkaiba sa dalawang options na yan, doon tayo mas madaling mag-come up with our decision kung alin yung pipiliin natin. Okay? That's why, in this topic, yun yung magiging focus natin. We are going to identify the relevant information that would be useful for the management's decision. So, may mga irrelevant information or irrelevant cost na ma-mention as we go along, ilista po natin yan. Because sometimes, the question in the exam would be, which of the following is irrelevant in the decision, etc., etc. So, meaning, dapat alam natin alin yung mga cost na hindi magmamatter sa decision, alin yung mga cost na really relevant in our decision. Okay, and going back to the 7 most common na mga short-term decisions, number 1 is make or buy. So, meron tayong product na ginagawa or binibenta right now. Iniisip natin kung gagawin ba talaga natin yung product na to or we are just going to buy a finished product and then sell as is. Parang question din na parang manufacturing business ba tayo or merchandising business. Kunwari, siomai. Yung siomai ba ako gagawa ng siomai? Or pwede naman na bumili ako ng siomai from outside na supplier tapos ibenta ko na lang. So yun yung option natin sa either to make or buy. But how can we come up with our decision or how can we come up with our recommendation to the management? Piliin natin, the answer in the exam would be whichever is lower ang cost. Alin ba ang mas mura? Yung gumawa ng siomai o bumili ng siomai? Tapos ibenta. Okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, accept or reject. Ang dami natin ginagawang siomai. Ngayon, nagbebenta tayo sa outside market. Ito, dumating ang isang company or isang tao na pumapakyaw ng siomai natin. Hindi naman lahat, pero marami siyang siomai na binibili sa atin. The question is, are we going to accept or reject the offer being made by that person or by that company? How do we decide? Remember, kapag nag-o-offer yan na papakyaw or bibili na talagang volume ng products natin, most likely yung price na nine-negotiate na is lower than the price that we are using or setting when we sell outside. So the question is, are we going to accept yung kanilang offer na mas mababang price? again, we have to consider yung tatlong options or tatlong considerations na to. Number 1, check natin, meron ba tayong excess capacity? So, yung excess capacity natin, kaya naman pala natin i-accommodate yun nang walang mawawala sa binibenta natin outside. So maybe we could check kung may pakinabang yan, edi we accept the offer. Otherwise, we reject the offer. Number 2 question here. Number 2 consideration rather. No excess capacity. Ibig sabihin, we are selling all the siomai outside. Ang tanong, are we going to sell or are we going to take out of our siomai na nabebenta outside para ma-accommodate yung offer ng isang entity na to? So, in that case, possible, hindi pala possible, talagang meron tayong opportunity cost. At ano yung opportunity cost doon? Kasi kumikita na tayo from selling the siomai outside. Kung ipipilit na i-accept yung offer, mapipilitan tayo na kunin from the outside sales. And there is an opportunity cost, which is the contribution margin natin from that particular na sales. Now, the third one, or the third consideration is, una, may excess capacity naman tayo. Pangalawa, there is no excess. Pangatlo, maaaring may excess tayo pero kulang. So meaning, there are some pieces of siomai na may opportunity cost pero yung iba wala. So, are we going to accept or reject the offer? Let us check. Pero looking at the accept or reject na decision, dalawang option yung pinamimilian natin. Pag in-accept natin, kikita tayo. Pag na-reject natin, kasi kumikita pala tayo outside, dalawang income ang pinamimilian natin. So, ibig sabihin, alin ang mas mataas na income? Sa number 1, sa make or buy, alin ang mas mababang cost? Sa number 2, accept or reject, alin yung mas mataas na kita natin? Number 3, and number 4, magkamukha. Medyo magkaiba lang ng konti. Sa number 3, drop or retain. Ang pinag-uusapan dito, it could be product, services, it could be department or branches. Ibig sabihin, naiisip natin na i-close or i-drop tong branch na to. Bakit kaya? Number 1, because nalulugi. Kung nalulugi yung particular branch na yan, kapag sinara natin, ano mangyayari sa atin? Most likely, may loss pa rin tayo. Why? Because, most probably, yung particular branch na yan, meron mga allocated na fixed cost yan. Ibig sabihin, even if we close that, meron pa rin matitira ng mga expenses na may incur. Meaning, if you continue, loss tayo. Pag sinutdown mo or sinara mo na yung branch, loss tayo. So, we are choosing between the two losses. So, which one is mas mababa ang loss? So that would be your choice sa drop or retain. Okay? But then again, linawin natin, that is our recommendation to the management. Ang management na bahala mag-decide na sabi natin, i-close mo yung branch kasi mas malaki yung lugi natin. Pero sabi ng management, hindi naman, walang kasiguraduhan na kung ano yung recommendation natin, yun din ang gagawin nila. Because there are qualitative information being considered. Kaya naman, sa exam, dun lang tayo sa quantitative information titingin pag sumasagot tayo sa mga problems dito. Okay? I-set aside muna natin yung qualitative information unless yun yung focus ng question. Okay? Shutdown or continue? Kamukha lang. Shutdown kasi i-drop mo or eliminate mo yung department or branch or product. Retain or continue, magkamukha lang. Ibig sabihin, itutuloy mo yung operation. Pero ang difference ng dalawa, ito, pag drinap mo or in-stop mo, permanent na yan. Pero ito, kapag sinutdown mo, that would only be temporary. Okay, ito. Temporary lang. Normally, na-encounter yung shutdown or continue operation ng mga companies na may mga peak season lang. One good example, kapag nasa isang university or school ka, kapag summer, yung ibang mga kantin dyan, nagsasara sila. Or yung ibang mga kantin dyan, talagang they are undergoing differential cost analysis. They're trying to analyze alin ba ang mas okay sa atin, to close or to continue, to close temporarily tapos magre-resume sa susunod na pasukan, or to continue operation kahit na summer classes lang ang meron ng school. So, paano magka-come up ng decision? Remember, kapag kinontinue nila during summer classes, possible na loss sila. Bakit? Konti lang bibili. Pero kapag sinutdown nila, hindi possible na loss. Sure po na loss sila. Bakit sure na loss? Because temporary lang ang pagsara mo, you still have to pay for fixed cost, mga fixed charges. Unless no, may mga fixed charges tayo na possible na ma-eliminate. Tulad ng kapag summer siguro, mas mababa yung renta ng mga nangungupahan sa canteen. So in other words, kapag continue, loss. Pag sinutdown, loss. Sa dalawang losses ang pamimilian natin, we choose whichever is lower na loss. Okay? So yun yung dalawa. Again, temporary lang, there is this intention to reopen yung store after the off-peak na season. Okay? Ang discount ng iba, kapag nag-continue ng operation, binababaan nila yung selling price. Mapunta tayo sa mga resorts. Kapag nag-shutdown, ang mga resorts, normally kapag ang peak season yan ay pagdating ng March, April, May, or summer. Okay? Mahal ang mga resorts during summer. Pero, pagdating ng mga December, mga burn months, mura lang ang mga resorts. Yan ang diskarte kapag off-peak ng mga ibang companies. To get more customers, they are trying to lower down their selling price or lower down the charges that they impose dun sa mga guests or customers nila. Okay? So, number 5 na tayo. Sell as is or process further. Ito, na-encounter natin ito sa cost accounting. Okay? But just to recall, sell as is or process further, ang topic na yun ay joint cost. Okay? Sabi natin, yung joint cost, pag at split of point, dun lalabas yung mga joint products natin. At yung joint products natin, merong status yan, possible na saleable at split of point or hindi saleable at split of point. Kapag hindi saleable at split of point, ibig sabihin you have no choice but to process further. Hindi po yan kasama sa pag-uusapan natin. Ang kasama po ay yung mga joint products na at split of point ay saleable na. Ibig sabihin, pwede mo na siya i-sell as is or i-sell at split of point. But you have the option to process further. If you process further, you will incur incremental cost. Okay? So pag process mo further, ang intention mo dito is for you to come up with higher na profit. Why? You added some cost. Siyempre, from the selling price at split of point, yung magiging final sales value mo yan after you process further would be higher. So you are really hoping for higher profit. So again, sell as is, kikita ka na. Pag nag-process further, may kita pa rin. So we are choosing alin kaya ang mas mababa na kita. Pero, incremental cost and incremental revenue approach will help you determine also para makapag-come up ng decision kung isa-sell as is mo or ipaprocess further yung ating products. Again, dun lang tayo sa mga saleable at split of point. Dun lang applicable yung number 5. Okay. Number 6, profit maximization. Bakit na kasama profit maximization? This is applicable especially if you have 2 or more products. Okay? 2 or more products ang meron ng isang company. Ang tanong, aling product ba ang dapat natin ibenta for us to maximize the profit that we can have? Now, kasi may issue yan na budget constraint. Possible kasi, we have 2 products. Yung mga products na to would be needing machine hours para ma-produce natin. Now, yung machine hours natin could be limited. Why? Because number 1, isa lang o dalawa lang machines natin, we can only produce this much on a certain period. Ibig sabihin, kahit na gusto natin maraming ibenta, dahil marami na bang palang bibili, hindi naman natin magawa because of the budget constraint. Konti lang yung machine hours available. Ang tanong, alin ang ibebenta nating product? So, yun yung magiging decision natin with profit maximization. Another is, hindi lang dahil sa budget constraint, meron din kasi na market constraint. Okay? Ano yung market constraint na tinutukoy natin? Kahit na kaya mong mag-produce ng 100,000 units ng mga products mo, pero sabi ng market, they can only buy 75,000. Ilang units ang ipoproduce mo? Hindi mo pwedeng i-produce lahat ng 100,000. You will only produce only up to 75,000. Why? Because if you do so, na 100,000 ka, ang mangyayari sa'yo, ma-overstock ka lang. Sayang yung mga inventory mo, hindi po yan mabebenta. Okay? That's why, when we try to come up, or when we try to do analysis on profit maximization, we try to determine what is the best product combination, meaning ng best product combination, yung product mix natin na magbibigay sa atin ng maximum na profit. Okay? So, mamaya, sa examples natin. And lastly is, replace or retain. Itong replace or retain natin is applicable sa mga PPE natin, sa mga equipments. For example, yung mga machines natin. For example na lang, aircon. Okay? Ang aircon, pag matagal na, maya na natin na re-repair. So pag nire-repair natin, may maintenance cost tayo, may operating cost tayo. So iniisip natin, baka sa sobrang ka-repair, ang laki na ng ginagastos, baka mas okay to replace your aircon or your AC. Pero pag nag-replace tayo ng AC, we have to shell out another cash for that. Pero kapag nag-retain tayo ng aircon natin, we will be shelling out money also for more na mga repairs and maintenance cost. So, dalawang cost naman ang pinamimilian natin dito. The question is, alin ba ang mas mura? So, ibig sabihin, that would be our recommendation to top management, whichever na option na may mas mababang cost. Okay? So, yun ay brief introduction nung pito na mga most common short-term decisions. And now, we are going to solve problems under each of these decisions. Okay? So, let us start with problem number 1. Okay, there are 4 questions in problem number 1. The first one is, if Erwin has offered to supply siomai for 3 pesos per piece on normal operations, should Jam make or buy siomai? So, problem number 1 is make or buy. So, gawa lang tayo ng schedule comparing the cost to make and the cost to buy. Let us consider the full cost or lahat ng cost natin, the variable cost and the fixed cost. If we make our siomai, magkano ang variable cost natin for, per order? So, that would be 4 plus 4 plus 2, so that would be 10 pesos. Okay? Ang fixed cost natin, if we make our siomai, that would be 6 pesos. Total of 16 if we make our siomai. So 16 per order. If we buy, magkano variable cost natin, that would be 12. Kasi 3 per piece times 4 per order. So that would be 12. Pero wala naman binanggit po sa fixed cost. Meaning, we are going to incur the full fixed cost pa rin even if we make or buy the siomai. So that would be 6. A total of 18. Ibig sabihin, if we make 16 per order, if we buy 18 per order ang cost natin. So that would lead us to our conclusion na it is better to make because there is net advantage of 2 pesos per order. Ilang orders ang kino-consider natin? That would be times 3,000. So that would be 6,000 na net advantage if we make our siomai. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ng number dito, yun yung advantage ng make over the option to buy. Pero ito ay full cost approach. Ibig sabihin, lahat ng cost, isinama natin. But then, remember, kapag manager na nagde-decide or nagbibigay tayo ng information, dapat mga relevant lang in their decision. Paano mo malalaman na relevant? Meron kasi dito na may incur natin whether we make or buy our siomai, and that is your fixed cost. So generally, ang mga fixed cost natin ay irrelevant in the decision. Kaya naman, when we give report to the management, ang itsura ng relevant cost approach to make or buy would only include the variable cost na 10 and 12. Ibig sabihin, even if you just make use of the relevant cost, 2 pesos pa rin ang advantage we make over sa option to buy. Times 3,000 units, still, the decision is to, or the recommendation is to make because there is net advantage of 6,000. Kumbaga, let's just compare the costs that we have. Okay? Pero alin ang ipapasa sa manager na report? This one. Only the schedule or details giving the relevant cost. And that would be variable cost. Una sa listahan ng mga irrelevant cost ay ang fixed cost. So generally, irrelevant po yan. But mamaya, i-explain natin further, meron palang mga fixed cost na relevant din in the decision. Okay, number 2, sabi rito, suppose that Erwin has offered to supply siomai for 3 pesos per piece. So there is the supplier. The 2.5 of the total fixed cost could be eliminated. So that is what we call fixed cost avoidable. Okay? So in that case, if we make our siomai, the relevant cost will be the variable cost of 10, and sa option to buy, meron tayong 12. Eh sabi niya, makaka-avoid ng 2.5. So ang pwede natin gawin dito is, ang fixed cost na avoidable, alin ba mas mataas ng fixed cost? If we make or buy. So, di ba, if we make, because makaka-avoid nga tayo ng 2.5 if we buy. Ibig sabihin, mas mataas to ng 2.5 over the option to buy. Kaya naman, ang total relevant cost to make is 12.5. Ang relevant cost to buy is 12. Kaya naman, ang decision natin or recommendation is to make, is to buy rather, because there's net advantage of 0.5 per order times 3,000 orders. So that would be net advantage of 1,500 if we buy our siomai. Okay? Another way of showing the computation here is they make and buy. Ang variable cost natin ay 10 and 12. Pero yung iba kasi mas madaling na maisip na kapag meron na avoid na fixed cost, na-avoid because if you will buy the siomai, dito niya mina-minus yung 2.5. Wala problema because the recommendation would be the same because to make 10 pesos per order, to buy, ang cost natin ay 9.5. So, mas mura pa rin to buy by how much? 0.5 pa rin. Times 3,000 units. So that would be by, because there's net advantage of 1,500. So, kahit alin dito sa dalawang approaches natin, same lang naman yung magiging decision natin. That is to buy. Okay? So, sabi natin kanina, irrelevant costs include fixed costs. Generally. So, meron na tayong exception to the rule, yung mga fixed costs na avoidable. Okay? And then, sabi dito sa number 3, determine the indifference point. Ano ibig sabihin natin sa indifference point? Kaya indifference, ibig sabihin, ano kaya yung level or number of units na kino-consider wherein the option to make and to buy would have the same impact or effect in our profit. In other words, para same impact yan, yung cost to make should be equal to cost to buy your siomai. Kaya naman, ang cost to make natin in this scenario would be consisting of fixed cost and your variable cost per unit times the number of units. FC plus VCUX. Ang cost to make natin, if we make, ang fixed cost natin ay, magkano nga ang fixed cost natin? 6. Pero ilang orders, yung normal capacity? 3,000. So that would be 18,000 na fixed cost. Variable cost natin to make is just 10 pesos. So plus 10x. Okay? Cost to buy is, magkano ito? Yung if we buy, so 6 minus 2.5, 3.5 ang ating fixed cost times 3,000 units. Ibig sabihin that would be 10,500 na fixed cost. So galing ulit, 6 minus the 2.5 na avoidable, 3.5 ang fixed cost if you buy times 3,000 plus 12x. 12 is your cost per order ng siomai if you buy. Now, find the value of x or the indifference point. So x here would be 2x is equal to 7,500. So x is 3,750. Ibig sabihin, the cost to make and the cost to buy would be equal if the number of units or orders considered are is 3,750. And just to prove, the cost to make CTM would be 18,000 plus 10,350. So how much is that? So 37,500 plus 18,000. So that is equal to 55,500. And your cost to buy is 10,500 plus 12 times 3,750. So 12 times 3,750 plus 10,500. So that would be also 15,500. Okay? Kaya tinawag ng indifference point, same cost. Either option would have the same impact sa ating profit. Pero anong decision natin? Walang, hindi make, hindi buy. You let the management decide. Pero as far as the management accountants are concerned, nakita natin equal, so sasabihin natin sa management, the option is either. Okay? Because the cost to make is equal to cost to buy. Or we are considering the indifference point. Okay? So, now, number 4, ang tanong dito, if Jam plans to sell 1,800 orders, 1,800 orders, ano kaya? Are we going to make or buy our siomai? Let us check. Kapag gumawa, pagkakain tayo, kapag mag-isa lang tayong kakain, alin mas okay sa atin? Yung bumili or magluto ng pagkain? Or in other words, alin mas mura? Bibili ka ng pagkain or magluluto ka ng pagkain for just one? Ikaw lang. So, syempre, mas mura ata na bumili. Pero kung marami kayong kakain, tapos mag-share kayo, saan kaya tayo mas makakamura? Yung bibili or gagawa ng pagkain natin? Okay? So, I think kapag mas marami tayo, mas mura na to make our own food. Parang ganun din yung decision dito. The more units that we consider, mas lumalapit tayo sa option to make. Pero the less units that we consider, lumalapit tayo sa option to buy. Kaya naman, even without computing, nakita natin na ang indifference point ay 3,750. 1/8 lang ang units na consider natin. So, our recommendation is to buy siomai. And let us prove the cost to make and cost to buy. If we compare, cost to make is 18,000 plus 10 times 1/8. So that would be 36,000. Okay? Cost to buy is 10,500 plus 12 times 1/8. Magkano ito? So 12 times 1/8 plus 10,500. Okay, 500 ito. So that would be 32,100. So, sabi natin, alin ang mas mura? To buy. Bakit tayo bibili? We are going to recommend to buy siomai because there is net advantage of magkano yung difference nila? 3,900. Okay? So, kahit hindi tayo mag-compute, alam natin that we are going to buy. Pero kung gusto lang malaman ng management, yung impact, if we really buy, ano ba yung advantage niya over making the siomai? That is 3,900. Okay? Again, kapag ang kinoconsider natin ay yung difference point, equal ang cost to make sa cost to buy, ang ating recommendation is either make or buy siomai. Pero kapag mas maraming units ang kinoconsider kaysa sa indifference point, we will recommend to make siomai. Pero pag lower than that, we are going to recommend to buy siomai. Okay? So this is our example for the make or buy decision. Okay? So let us move to accept or reject na problem. Problem number 2. There are 3 questions in problem number 2 sa accept or reject na problem. But before we continue, i-recall lang natin yung sinabi natin kanina ng mga scenarios. Kung merong offer from the third party or may offer from a certain company or person, we have to check first our status. Number 1, with excess. Kasi kung may sobra-sobra naman tayo, as long as may kita naman tayo dun sa offer ng company na yon or ng tao na yon, we could accept the offer. Again, kung no excess naman, remember, kapag walang excess at talagang i-accept natin yung offer ng company na yon, mapipilitan tayo to get from our outside sales. Kaya meron tayong opportunity cost sa number 2. Okay? So we have to consider that. Baka naman mas malulugi lang tayo kapag in-accept natin yung offer na yan. Now, in number 3, with excess, pero insufficient yung excess natin. Kulang sa order na kailangan ng third party or nung kung sino man yung pumapakayaw ng ating siomai. Now, how do we decide? So in number 5, the question is, if the business is presently very slow, should Jam accept or reject the order? Pag ganung mga phrase or statement, presently very slow, as if sinasabi na there is excess capacity. Okay? So, hindi naman palagi na sasabihin yung ilan ang capacity, ganito lang pinibenta compared to no kung may excess or no excess capacity. Sometimes, ganun implied lang na the business is presently very slow. So, meaning, mas marami siyang hindi nabebenta. So, with excess. In that case, we will just compare the opportunity cost that we have against the margin of the offer. Ang opportunity cost natin would be, kung hindi pa natin titingnan to, magkano ba ang selling price niyan outside? And that is 6.25. Magkano ba yung variable cost natin? That is 2.5. Ibig sabihin, ang contribution margin natin ay 3.75. Yan yung meron tayo ngayon. Ngayon, sa number 1 scenario, with excess tayo, wala naman palang mawawala sa atin. Therefore, there is no opportunity cost. Let us just check the offer. Magkano ba ang offer ng ating ni Ruby House of Dumplings? Offer na ay 3.65 na selling price. Pero magkano ba variable cost natin with the offer? Magkano? Ang variable cost natin, 2.5. Pero let us check kung meron tayong additional cost or may masasave tayo because we will accept the offer. Let us check. Sabi dito, an extra shipping cost of 0.15 per unit will be incurred if the company will accept the special order. So therefore, 2.5 plus 0.15, so 2.65 yung ating magiging variable cost. Meron tayong extra na 0.15. Therefore, the contribution margin is piso per unit. Ilang units ba pinag-uusapan natin? 5,000 units of or pieces of siomai. Therefore, may kita pala tayo na 5,000 pesos if we accept the offer. Kumpara sa wala naman palang mawawala if we accept the offer. So therefore, we will accept because there's net advantage of 5,000 pesos. So that's number 5. It's as parang kapag may excess capacity tayo, check lang natin, meron ba lang ba tayong contribution margin that we can get from the offer? Kung wala, kung mas malaki pa yung variable cost natin, wag na lang din natin i-accept yung offer. But in our case, in number 5, the answer is accept because there is advantage of 5,000. Okay. Number 6. If JAM has more businesses that it can handle. So from the statement, hindi sinabi kung ilan ang binibenta outside at ilan yung capacity. Basta sa statement, it implies more businesses that it can handle. So sobra-sobra ang kaya niya, kaya niya ibenta lahat. So therefore, that is other phrase or statement para sabihin na there is no excess. Kaya naman, in number 6, we will compare the opportunity cost with the contribution margin of the offer. Ang opportunity cost natin is ito po. Ang contribution margin natin dito ay 3.75. Ang contribution margin ng offer natin ay piso. Okay, ito po. Diba? Yan yung ating contribution margin ng offer. So looking at the two, obvious na we are going to reject. Why? Because there's net advantage of 2.75 if we just continue to sell outside or if we reject. Magkano yun in all times 5,000. So 5,000 times 2.75. So that would be net advantage of 13,750. Okay? So the answer number 6, reject because there is net advantage of 13,750. Number 7. So in our number 7, if present production is 16,500 pieces, should JAM accept or reject the special offer? Let us check. Ang capacity natin ay 20,000. Pero ang outside sales natin ay 16,500. Therefore, meron tayong excess na 3,500. Oops! Kung may excess sa 3,500, ang order po natin ay 5,000 from Ruby, House of Dumplings. Okay? Ibig sabihin, may opportunity cost tayo para sa 1,500 units. Kaya tanong, we will compare in number 7, the opportunity cost versus the contribution margin of the offer. Magkano opportunity cost natin? Per unit is 3.75. Magkano ang contribution margin ng offer natin? That is 1.0 or piso. Ang tanong, are we going to accept or reject the offer? Hindi natin pwede compare yung unit contribution margin natin. We have to get the total contribution margin. Ilan ang may opportunity cost? Ilan ang multiply dito? It should only be 1.5. Kasi yan lang yung merong opportunity cost. Okay, magkano po yan? 3.75 times 1.5. So that is 5,625. Magkano ba if we accept the offer? Times 5,000. So ito ay 5,000 pesos. So, looking at the contribution margin, nung mawawala sa atin, 5,625, ang offer ay 5,000. Therefore, anong decision natin? Our decision, or our recommendation rather, is to reject. Because there's net advantage of 625 if we reject. In other words, mas may kita tayo if we just continue selling outside all the 16,500 units rather than accepting the offer of Ruby House of Dumplings. Okay? So that's problem number 2. In problem number 3, kita mo kagad na if Jam Foods Corp is offering these 3 lines of product, shrimp, siomai, pork siomai, and beef siomai, kita-kita mo kagad alin yung merong problema. So, in our case, si shrimp ang problema natin. Kasi may loss na kinocontribute si shrimp siomai na 5,000 pesos. Okay? Ang tanong dito, looking at the income statement of shrimp or performance of shrimp, ang sales natin ay 20,000. Ang variable cost natin ay 12,000. Tapos, meron tayong direct fixed cost na 5,000 at meron tayong allocated fixed cost na 8,000. Kaya naman, that is giving us net loss na 10,000. Ano, 5,000 rather. Okay? Ngayon, ang tanong, will jam, retain, or drop shrimp siomai? Kapag na-retain mo, 5,000 loss. But if i-drop mo yung shrimp siomai, wala tayong sales. Wala tayong variable cost. Okay? May direct fixed cost? Wala rin. Remember, direct costs are attributable or directly attributable dun sa products or department. Meaning, kapag tinanggal mo yung product na yun, mawawala rin siya. Okay? Kaya ito ay zero. Pero, yung allocated fixed cost, since allocated lang siya, even if you remove shrimp, it will still be incurred, 8,000. Okay? Since may incur siya, ang loss mo is 8,000. So, what would be your answer? So, we will just drop or retain shrimp. We will just retain. Why? Because there is net advantage of 3,000. Mas okay pa na loss tayo ngayon kay shrimp na binibenta natin yan kasi mas konti yung loss niya. 5,000 as against 8,000. Okay? Ito yung total fixed cost. But this one is avoidable. Kaya ito ay relevant in our decision. Okay, so what will be the net income or loss of jam if shrimp is dropped? So dating net income niya na 64,000. Kapag talagang drinap mo yung shrimp siomai, ang profit mo would be less by 3,000. So minus 3,000. So the new net income would be 61,000. Okay? That is the net income of jam if shrimp is dropped. Okay? So, kita agad aling product ang may problema. At tingnan mo rin, i-compare mo lang yung may iwan na fixed cost. Okay? Pag alam mo mas malaking may iwan, the decision would be to retain the product. Or kung branch man yan, is to retain the particular branch. Okay, so that will be for problem number 3. In problem number 4, the company is considering to temporarily stop the operation for the next 4 months since the demand declines below the break-even points. In other words, tayo ay net loss. Ang questions dito would be, ano ang shutdown cost? Ano ang shutdown savings? Ano ang shutdown point? Explain natin kung ano itong mga ito. Okay? Shutdown cost. Shutdown cost. Okay? In other words, kapag sinutdown mo operation mo, ano-ano pa ba yung mga mai-incur natin? Sabi natin, even if shutdown, we will pay for fixed cost pa rin. So, meron kasi tayong fixed cost. During the normal operations, tawagin natin na fixed cost na normal, yung may-incur natin. But during the shutdown period, possible na fixed cost natin, meron tayong avoidable at fixed cost na unavoidable. Okay? Bayaran pa rin natin. Tulad na sabi ko kanina, possible na during the shutdown period, mas mababa ang renta because summer. Kaya yung lessor medyo mabait sa lessee na sige, babaan muna natin yung renta natin kahit paano. Okay? Kaya naman, one possible scenario lang yun. Kaya meron tayong possible na avoidable na fixed cost. Pero pag sinatan ang operation, shutdown cost, ano yung may incur natin? Ito pong unavoidable. Okay? Kaya, ang shutdown cost, isummarize natin into FAR. F for Fixed cost na unavoidable. Unavoidable. Okay, that's number 1. Ano pa ba yung ibang cost na ma-incur natin because we shut down the operation? Pay for some additional cost. Bakit may additional cost? Kasi possible na nag-hire ka ng security guard para bantayan yung store or company for the time na sarado or hindi nag-ooperate yung business. O kaya, special padlock, binili mo just to close the store para hindi mapasok ng magnanakaw and so on. Basta ito ay additional cost because you close the business for the meantime. Okay? And or for your restart cost. Kasi nga, since shutdown or continue operation to, you have the intention to reopen the store. Kaya naman, pag nag-reopen ka, maraming possible na additional cost na ma-incur. Siyempre, general cleaning ulit kung i-open mo yung store mo, and other restarting na cost. Basta, pag shutdown cost, for fixed cost, pero yung unavoidable. Kasi cost yan na na-incur. And then, additional cost at saka mga restart cost. Okay. And then, the shutdown savings. Kung may cost tayo, the reason kung bakit naisip natin na mag-shutdown is dahil possible meron tayong savings. Ano-ano naman yung na-save natin because of the option na mag-shutdown tayo? Of course, the fixed cost na avoidable. Actually, far din yan. Yung shutdown savings natin, far pa rin yan. Pay for additional cost. Oops! Sabi natin, savings, bakit additional cost? Kaya minus 2 yan. Itong restart cost, minus din po yan. Kumbaga, savings mo na sana yung buong fixed cost na avoidable, kaso nag-additional cost ka, so minus sa savings. Nag-restart cost ka, so minus sa savings. Kaya naman, pag ang tanong sa exam is the shutdown savings, for din yan. Pero minus yung A, tsaka yung R. Pero pag shutdown cost, for din yan. Pero plus yung A, plus yung R. Kasi we're talking about cost. Okay? Shutdown point. Point. So, the formula for shutdown point is the shutdown savings over the CMU or contribution margin per unit. Pero lagyan natin ng asterisk. Bakit may asterisk sa CMU? Kasi nga tulad ng sabi ko kanina, possible during the shutdown period na kinoconsider natin ay magbaba tayo ng presyo. So yung CMU in the computation of your shutdown point is the CMU dun sa kinoconsider natin na lower na price. Just in case na meron changes pero kung wala naman changes, yung normal na CMU lang na gamitin natin. But just in case na mag-lower ng price or there are adjustments in your selling price and variable cost, ito po ay yung adjusted na CMU or yung CMU during the shutdown period being considered. Okay? Tapos, pag lumabas dito, yung shutdown point natin, kapag ang demand ay mas madami kaysa sa shutdown point, we will continue our operation. Pero kapag ang demand ay mas mababa, just like in our problem, mas mababa kaysa sa break-even or kaysa sa shutdown point, we will shut down operation. Paano kung equal? So again, hindi ka mag-decide sa exam. Huwag tayo pala desisyon. Kailangan, ang answer natin is either. Kasi, either shutting down or continuing the operation, it will have the same impact sa ating profit. Okay? So, let's solve the problem na binigay yung problem na binigay natin. Okay. So, magkano ba yung shutdown cost natin? So, let's just get the amount of your farm. Ang fixed cost na normal natin in our situation is 50,000. Tapos sabi natin, may avoidable at saka unavoidable. Magkano yung avoidable natin? Sabi rito, if they shut down, they could eliminate 20,000. So, avoidable yung 20,000. Therefore, 30,000 is unavoidable. Alright? So, itong 30,000 ang kasama sa cost natin. Pero, hindi 30,000 lang because mag-shutdown siya for the next 4 months. Kaya multiply natin ito ng 4 months. So, total of 120,000 yung ating fixed cost na unavoidable. A, meron pa tayong additional cost. Sabi dito, they would incur additional costs for insurance and security guards for the entire shutdown period of 25,000. Kaya meron tayong additional cost na 25,000. They estimated that the restarting cost will be 20,000. So, nasabi na ng 20,000 dito. Okay? Therefore, the shutdown cost is complete now. The total is 165,000. That is your shutdown cost. Okay? So, what is your shutdown savings? Shutdown savings is also FAR. Pero yung FAR natin dito is the avoidable one. So, that will be 20,000 times 4. So, that is 80,000 pesos. Pero, yung ARR dito ay naka-minus. Kaya ito ay minus 25,000 minus 20,000. Therefore, the shutdown savings is amounting to, paki-minus, that is 35,000 pesos. Okay? That is your shutdown savings. This is your shutdown cost. Sabi sa sumunod na question, what is your shutdown point? So, SBP is equal to shutdown savings of 35,000 divided by the CMU. Pero may asterisk, check natin, may changes ba sa price? Meron. Sabi dito, ang price natin, ang selling price natin, originally is 50. Ang variable cost per unit natin originally is 30. Kaya ang CMU natin na original ay 20. May changes. Ang SPU natin ay naging 40. Kasi selling price is reduced to, ibig sabihin that's the selling price now, 80%. So that is 40 minus 30. So the CMU that we're going to use is 10. Kaya naman, divided by 10, so the shutdown point is 3,500 units. Okay? So that is your shutdown point. Again, anong sense ng shutdown point? Kapag equal sa shutdown point yung ating demand, we will either shut down or continue operation. Pag mas malaki yung demand, we will continue. Pero pag mas mababa yung demand, we will shut down. So sabi sa sa next number, sa last question, if the monthly sales will temporarily drop to only 1,000 units, will you recommend to shut down or continue operations? Ang demand ay 1,000 units. Will you shut down or continue operation? The answer is continue. Paano naging continue? Remember, this is monthly sales. Multiply natin ng 4. Ibig sabihin, the demand is really 4,000 units. Okay? So be careful with those kind of questions kasi possible na sa examiner nalilito, ang ibibigay niya ay monthly sales. They have to multiply it with the number of months na isa-shutdown yung operation. So 1,000 times 4 is 4,000 units. Mas malaki siya kaysa sa 3,500. Therefore, the decision is, or the recommendation rather, is to continue the operation. Okay? Because we have more demand than the shutdown period. Alright. Problem number 5 is sell as is or process further. So the company is manufacturing these two products from a joint process. So the joint cost is 80,000. Okay. So 5,000 pounds of A can be sold at split of 420 per pound. So ilang A? 5,000. Okay. Magkano ang selling price? 20. At split of point, SOP, split of point. Okay. Or process further at an additional cost of 20,000. So additional cost or incremental cost na 20,000 pesos. Alright. And then sold for, the final sales value is 25 pesos. Okay? And then, 10,000 pounds of B can be sold at split of 415. So 10,000 here at split of point, ang bentahan ay 15. Tapos sabi niya, can be processed further at an additional cost of 20,000 din. Same lang na 20,000. And later sold for 16 pesos. The final sales value. Okay, the question is, if the company or VK decides to process B, beyond split of point, the change in operating income will be. So, sagutin muna natin diretso yung tanong. Tapos mamaya na tayo sa ibang mga scenarios. Okay? So, to be able to process further, what would be the change in the operating income? So, what will happen in our case, if we process further, dagdag ng 20,000. Pero, meron tayong incremental revenue. This is your incremental cost. We just compare the two. Magkano yung incremental revenue natin kay B? Piso lang naman madadagdag sa kanya. Times 10,000 units. So that would be 10,000 pesos. Therefore, what will happen? So comparing the incremental cost and then the incremental revenue, meron tayong loss na or decrease in our profit ng 10,000. Okay? So that is the change in the operating income. Okay? Yun lang yung tanong sa sell and assist or process further. Pero if we try to analyze, paano kung si A ay ipaprocess din further? What will happen? So incremental revenue ni A ay 25 minus 20. So that would be 5. Ilang units? 5,000. So 25,000 ang ating incremental revenue. Pag kinumpare natin, meron tayong advantage na 5,000 kapag si A yung process further. Sometimes the question in the exam is, which of the products could be processed or would you recommend to be processed further? So the answer would be product A. Pero minsan, sasabihin sa exam, pag talagang pinilit ng company na ito ay ipaprocess further, what will happen to the income? So parang yung mismong tanong natin sa problem, na if the company process further product B, ang mangyayari, mababawasan ng 10,000 yung profit. Okay? Sometimes the question could also be, lahat ng products ipaprocess further. So, we will get the effects sa bawat product and then get the net effect. So, in our case, if all the products will be processed further, there will be net na disadvantage or decrease in our profit amounting to 5,000. Okay? Dapat all products. Okay. So, again, depende kung anong tanong sa exam, kung isang product lang, kung lahat ng products, o kaya tatanong, what would be the net advantage if we process further this product, and so on. Okay? So, kaya-kaya natin sa assist or process further. So that's problem number 5. So we'll go to number 6 this time. So profit maximization using or by utilizing the limited or scarce resources. Okay, here's the problem. Alright, in problem number 6, we have two products, X and Y, with their respective na mga contribution margin per unit. Pag tinignan natin, 5 kay X, 6 kay Y. Kung ito lang pagbabasihan natin, pag tinanong tayo, aling product ang i-produce natin or ibebenta natin? The answer would be Y. Magpuproduce or magbebenta ka ba ng X kahit konti? The answer is no. Puro Y lang. Kasi our goal in this problem is to maximize the profit. Because every time magbebenta ka ng X, sayang yung benta mo ng Y, piso ang nawawala sa atin. Kaya if we want to maximize the profit, we will always go with Y. Pero kapag walang ibang sinabi, but in our problem, sabi rito, Smith Manufacturing has 6,000 labor hours. So in that case, ibig sabihin lang, meron tayong budget constraint. We only have limited na labor hours. At sabi pa rito, the required labor time per unit or per hour would be 2 labor hours 2 for X, and then 3 for Y. Kung ito titingnan natin, ang contribution margin per unit natin, per scarce na resources or resource, would be 5 divided by 2, 2.5. 6 divided by 3, 2. In other words, titingnan natin ngayon, kung limited pala yung number of hours that we have na ginagamit natin to produce X and Y, so alamin natin, magkano ba per hour ang kikitain natin? So, looking at X, 2.5 per hour, kay Y, 2 per hour. So, this time, mababaliktad na yung magiging priority natin sa product na gagawin or ibebenta. Mas gusto na natin ngayon na gawin at ibenta si X because per oras ang usapan, mas marami kinikita per hour ang X. So, ulitin natin. Pag wala namang budget constraint, unlimited ang resources ng company, we would always go with the product with higher na CMU. But if the resources are limited, therefore, we will proceed with a higher contribution margin per unit per scarce na resource. Okay? So, in our case, the scarce resource ay pertaining to labor hours. The question is, with the 6,000 labor hours, how many product X or product Y are we going to sell or process? To sell or produce, rather. Okay? First scenario, what if we are now considering the market constraint or the market na factor? Sabi ng market, the customer can actually buy unlimited na X and unlimited na Y. In other words, kaya-kayang bilhin ng mga customers both X and Y kahit ilan pa i-produce natin. So, how many X and how many Ys do we produce? Check muna natin ha. Ilan ba ang maximum units na kaya natin i-produce kung X lang? So, 6,000 labor hours divided by 2. So, ibig sabihin, kaya natin mag-produce ng 3,000 units of X. Okay? But if we produce Y, ilang units kaya natin? 6,000 divided by 3, we can produce 2,000 units of Y. Pero ang tanong, anong priority natin? X or Y? The answer is X. Therefore, kung unlimited ang wants ng mga customers at kaya nilang bilhin, ano yung ipoproduce natin? May X ba lahat or may konting Y? The answer is X lahat. Therefore, ilan ang gagawin natin na X? Ilan ang gagawin natin na Y? Ang gawin natin na X ay 3,000 units, sa Y, 0. I-maximize natin lahat sa X yung ating units produced. Okay? Or yung ating labor hours. So the answer of the exam is 3,000X and no or 0 Y. That's the product combination. Okay? Number 2, lagyan natin ngayon ng limit yung mga ito. Okay, sabi nito, sa X, ang limit daw ay 1,800 units. Sa Y, unlimited ang wants ng mga customer. Pero, ang priority natin ay X. Therefore, kung mas mababa ito sa maximum, ang ipoproduce natin ay 1,800 na itodo mo na yan kay X. Okay? Magpoproduce ka ba ng more than 1,800 kay X? The answer is no. Dahil pag nagsobra ka sa 1,800, since sabi sa problem, customer only wants 1,800 units, yun ay magiging stock lang natin. Tatambay lang yun sa ating warehouse. So therefore, we will produce only up to 1,800 units. Okay? Ilang hours ang nagamit nito? Times 2. So that would be 3,600 hours. Okay? Ang tanong, ilan pa natitira na labor hours? 2,400. Ilan ang kaya natin gawin out of 2,400? Ilang Y? 24 divided by 3 hours, 800 units. Okay? Unlimited naman pala ang gusto ng customer. Therefore, let us produce the product combination of 1,800X and 800 na Y. Okay? Number 3. What if ang customer natin can only buy X at 1,500 units. Ang Y, the customer can only buy 1,500 units as well. Okay? Ang tanong, Ano ang product combination that would maximize the profit na magagamit mo lahat ng labor hours at hindi susobra sa gusto lang ng customer. Let's check. Of course, kay X, itotodo na natin yung 1.5. Diba? Ilang oras ang nagamit natin? 3,000. Ilan pa ang natitira? 3,000 pa. Ilang oras kay Y? 3 hours. Ilan ang kayang i-produce kay Y? 1,000. Therefore, the answer is 1,500X and 1,000Y. That will maximize our profit. Okay? What if, last na, scenario number 4. Scenario number 4, i-reason natin nasa ibabaw. Number 4, sabi dito, 1,000 lang na X ang kayang bilhin ng customer and they can only buy 1,200 na Y. Ang tanong, what is the product combination? Let us check. Pag X, itotodo natin ulit yung 1,000 because that would utilize 2,000 units. Ilan pa natitira? 4,000. Okay? 4,000 hours. Ilan ang kaya gawin ng 4,000 hours? Ilang Y? Divided by 3. So that would be 1,333. Okay? 1,333 ang kayang gawin. Okay? Tanong, are we going to produce the entire 1,333? The answer is no. Because the customer will only buy up to 1,200 units. Kaya ito ay 1,2. So the product combination is 1,000X and 1,200Y. Meaning, susundin mo lang yung gusto ng customer. In that case, may sobra pala tayo na labor hours. Possible na question sa exam, how many labor hours were unutilized? Check natin. Kapag 1,000, ang magagamit natin ay 2,000. Pag 1,2, ang magagamit natin ay 3,600. Kasi 1,2 times 3. Ang total labor hours na nagamit natin ay 5,600. Ilan ang unutilized? The answer is 400 direct labor hours. Okay? So those are the possible questions sa profit maximization. Anong product combination would really maximize the profit of the business or company? Okay? So that is problem number 6. So we are now down to the last problem. So take a look at this. Last problem, replace or retain the equipment. So we have here the old machine and the new machine. Parang pag sinabi natin, napipili natin sa old machine, we are going to retain, okay, we are going to retain or we are going to replace with a new machine. Okay? Sabi natin kanina, pag nag-iisip tayo kung magre-replace o magre-retain tayo ng machine, isipin natin, magkano ba yung cost to replace? Magkano yung cost to retain the new machine? Pag sinabi mong cost to retain the new machine, ibig sabihin, ano yung cost na may incur mo if you continue to use the old machine? And that would be number 1, depreciation expense. Okay? Depreciation expense nung old machine. Ano pa may incur natin? The operating cost. Okay? Kasi syempre, kasama sa operating cost yung maintenance cost. Okay? Ano pa ma-incur natin if we make use of the old machine? So basically, yun po yung lahat na ma-incur natin. What if we replace the new machine? Ano ma-incur natin? Yung mismo binili natin, yung amount nun, that would be depreciated also sa magiging useful life ng bagong machine. So therefore, we will still incur the depreciation expense of the new machine. Ano pa ang mag-incur natin? Kahit na sabihin mong new machine yan, may operating cost pa din yan. Could be maintenance cost also. Okay? Pero, what do we expect? Mas mababa yung operating cost ng new machine kaysa sa operating cost sa old machine. Kasi bago yan, so hindi pa masyadong nire-repair. Okay? What else? Ano pa yung cost ng new machine? Meron kasi tayong possible na cost na incur or possible na cost na ma-save because we will replace the machine. Siyempre, kapag ni-replace mo or bumili ka ng bago, ano gagawin natin sa old machine? So the tendency is, you are going to dispose your old machine. Pag dispose mo yan, yung loss mo from disposal of old machine would be added sa cost ng new machine. Okay? What if hindi pala loss? Kumita ka pa nung dinispose mo. So, kung loss, it's a plus. Pero kung meron tayong gain, it's a minus. Okay? Kaya naman, itong mga items na to, ang pinakatututukan mo kapag replace or retain yung ating problem. Kahit sobrang daming given yan, you are going to just make a schedule or table comparing yung dalawa. Okay? Let's continue. In our problem, sabi rito, if we retain and if we replace, number one na may incur natin if we retain the depreciation expense of the old machine. Sabi rito, ang old machine is useful for 8 years. Pero, 3 years ago pa pala siya binili. Therefore, meron pa siyang remaining life na 5 years. That's why, wala naman siyang ibinigay na salvage value at the end of its useful life. Therefore, the entire cost would be depreciated during the entire life. So, 3 years na 80,000 siya. So, meaning, ang ating book value today is 50,000. Okay? Ulitin natin. 80,000 ang cost. Tapos, over 80 years. So, 10,000 per year ang ating depreciation. And 3 years na. So, times 3 years, 30,000 na ang accumulated depreciation natin. Therefore, the book value is 80,000 minus your accumulated depreciation of 30,000, so that would be 50,000. Okay? Tapos, ang ilalagay natin data dito, para fair or para pwede talaga ma-compare yung dalawang data natin, would be for the entire life. So, ang entire remaining life, ito ay 5 years. Therefore, the depreciation expense for 5 years would be equal to 50,000. Okay? Operating cost natin is how much? Magkano annual operating cost? 45,000. Pero, ilang years pang natitira? Times 5, so that would be equal to 45 times 5, that is 225,000. Therefore, the cost to retain is 50,000 plus 225, that is 275,000. Magkano yung cost to replace? Number 1, depreciation expense din. Number 2, operating cost. And number 3 is either gain or loss from disposal. Okay? So, tanggalin lang natin itong part na to. Now, magkano depreciation expense natin sa new machine? So, that would be, magkano ba yung bili natin sa new machine? 100,000. Eh, wala namang salvage value at the end of its useful life, and that would be useful for 5 years. Kaya, ang depreciation expense natin for the entire life is 100,000. Okay? 5 years parehas. And your operating cost would be, magkano? 25,000. So, 25,000 times ilang years? 5 years. So, that is 125,000. So, magkano ngayon ang ating cost to replace? Kulang pa. Because we have to consider if there is a loss or gain from disposal. How do we know? The book value is 50,000. Magkano ang proceeds natin? Magkano ang proceeds natin? That is, if you are going to dispose now, that is amounting to 20,000. So therefore, meron tayong loss na 30,000. And that would be added in our cost to replace. Therefore, the total cost to replace is 100 plus 125. That is 225 plus 30, 255,000. Okay? So, which one will we choose? Of course, to replace. We will replace replace. Why? Because there is net advantage of compare the two 20,000 rather. Ayan. So we're going to replace the machine because there is net advantage of 20,000. Okay? There is another approach. Of course, kasi ito full cost ulit. What if relevant cost ang pag-uusapan natin? Meaning, we will only show kung ano lang yung mga relevant in our decision. Okay? If we retain or make use of the old machine as compared with replace or make use of the new machine. Okay? This is your depreciation expense and this is your operating costs. Okay. Looking at the first comparison na ginawa natin, dito, meron tayong mai-eliminate. Kasi itong loss natin dito, if you remember, sabi natin dito, ilagay natin number 1, depreciation expense, number 2, operating costs. Number 1, depreciation expense, number 2, operating costs, number 3, loss. Okay? Itong loss na to, pag in-expound natin yan, the loss is, what do we do? We add the, what do we add? The book value of old machine, we deduct the proceeds. Okay? If you look at the problem pa rin, remember, the depreciation of expense of this one is equal to the book value of the old machine also. So this is equal to the book value of old machine. Meaning, pwede pala na hindi na isama ito at saka ito. Ang maiiwan na lang kapag relevant cost approach tayo would be, if you are going to retain, it is simply the operating cost of the old machine. Yun na lang ang maiiwan. Kapag i-replace natin, ang maiiwan ay, number 1, the depreciation expense of the new machine. Number 2, operating costs. And number 3, wala nang book value. Proceeds na lang. Pero ito ay naka-minus. So ito na lang. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng ito na lang ang isi-check natin. Pero kung hindi ka masyadong komportable dito sa relevant cost approach na yan, masasolve mo rin naman using the full cost approach. But then again, sabi natin, we are on the differential cost analysis. So relevant cost lang ang nire-report natin para mas mabilis yung decision. We only report yung mga items na nandito. Okay? Pero sa exam, kung saan komportable yun ang gagawin. Pero syempre, for reporting purposes, dun ka pa rin sa relevant cost lang ang laman. Okay? Paano kung may salvage value yung old machine? Walang problema. So, kapag may salvage value, may ma-recover na konti. So, minus the salvage value of the old machine. Kasi remember, the depreciation expense for the entire life is the remaining book value minus the salvage value. So meaning, pag nawala yung book value, maiiwan yung salvage value natin. Okay? So let us show again yung comparison ng if you are going to retain the old machine or the old equipment, or we're going to replace with a new one. Okay? If we choose the old one and if we choose the new one. So ano ulit yung mga cost to replace and retain? Number 1 is the depreciation expense. So ano nga ulit yung computation depreciation expense natin? This is actually your book value minus the salvage value. But in our problem, wala namang salvage value, so that is just the book value of your old machine. Bakit book value? Kasi we are considering the entire remaining useful life of the old machine. Okay? Number 2, of course, the operating cost of your old machine. Kaya pagpunta mo sa kabila, number 1 also is the depreciation expense of your new machine for the entire life din niya. Siyempre, the formula would still be the book value of the new machine minus the salvage value. Kadalasan sa problem, dahil hindi focus nyo sa part na to, walang salvage value. But just in case na meron, so that is how we compute for the depreciation expense. That is for the entire life. Number 2 is operating cost. So basically, magkamukha lang sila kung titingnan mo, pareha sila na depreciation expense and operating cost. Okay? Ang kaibahan lang, because you are considering to buy the new machine, kaya ang gagawin mo, i-dispose mo yung old machine ulit. So that would be your either loss is a plus. Pero kung gain, it's a minus. Okay? But remember, another table could arise because this part could be replaced by your book value and proceeds. What do we do with the book value? It's a plus sa cost. What do we do with the proceeds? It's a minus. Kaya, the new table would look like this. Old and new. Again, the depreciation expense. Number 2, operating cost. 1, depreciation expense. Number 2, operating cost. Same lang ulit. Tapos naka-expound lang ang ating formula. So that would be the book value minus proceeds. Okay? Just in case na ito yung gusto mong approach. Yung isa pa would be, since itong depreciation expense natin would include book value minus the salvage. Lakihan natin. Since the depreciation expense here is the book value minus the salvage value, so pwede natin ulit ma-eliminate yung book value here. Okay? Kaya may iwan, the third table would be the old machine, new machine. Compare ulit natin. So that would be, number 1, operating cost na lang. Tapos number 2, kung may salvage value man, naka-minus po yan. Okay? Minus na lang natin yung salvage value. Then sa kabilang side, number 1 is depreciation expense. Number 2, operating cost niya. And number 3, proceeds. Pero naka-minus. Okay? So anong proceeds? From the disposal of your old machine. Okay? So it's up to you kung ano yung pipiliin mo or ano yung mas applicable na solution in our problem. But in our given na problem, dito sa last natin, so ang ginamit natin, itong full cost approach, pwede rin to, pwede rin to. But then, for computation or for exam purposes, kahit alin pwede. Pero for reporting purposes, again, we make use of the relevant approach, relevant cost approach, or we are only reporting those costs that are relevant in the decision. Alright, so we're done with all the illustrations for the 7 most common decision-making ng management. And if you have questions, so please don't hesitate to send an email to ryancanonroque@yahoo.com, or you can leave a message on the comment section of this video. So once again, thank you so much, and mag-ingat po tayo lahat. God bless us all. Thank you.